Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. It will come as a surprise to absolutely no one that there is, once again, another scandal brewing in Westminster. This time, the corruption is amongst an ex-Labour MP who is accused of basically fiddling £30,000 worth of expenses, that is, taxpayers' money, to fuel his prodigious habit. He is a man who likes to partake of Charlie. We all know who Charlie is. Let's have a look at this report and see where our money has been spent. Ex-Labour MP Jared O'Mara, 41, falsely claimed £30,000 in expenses because he was in dire need of cash to fund a prodigious habit. O'Mara won his seat from the former Lib Dem leader Nick Clegg. And he stood down at the 2019 election after a series of scandals. Not just one. This is only the latest in a series. But we shouldn't be surprised. He's a socialist. And so he spouts one set of, platitudes and the lies that they spin about themselves, about how wonderful they are and how virtuous they are. Meanwhile, he's dipping his hand in the public purse, stealing from the public. To basically hand the money to criminals to buy the wonderful Colombian party dust. But anyway, he was useless as an MP, and he's fairly useless as a human being. But we'll look at this. A former Labour MP falsely claimed 30k in expenses in a brazen fraud. O'Mara, who was the MP for Sheffield Hallam for 2 years and regarded taxpayers' money as a source of income that was his to claim as he wished. The MP, who is autistic, and that's very useful when you're trying to get out of prison, even allegedly invented a fictitious autism organisation to try and claim thousands of pounds in faked expenses. I too am on the spectrum. I don't go stealing from my employers to fund a habit caused by a weakness of personality. Prosecutor James Bourne-Arton said O'Mara was in dire need of cash as he was funding this habit and possibly living beyond his means. He's got the face of someone who's had to owe some money to a dealer, hasn't he? A few gashes there. But he said O'Mara appears to maintain that his claims are all genuine and that he didn't act dishonestly. Well, he is completely lying. He is a lying thief. O'Mara from Sheffield has denied 8 counts of fraud by false representation, and he appears in court by video link. His Chief of Staff Gareth Arnold, 30, of Dronfield in Derbyshire, denies 6 of the same fraud offences. So there's a whole bunch of these Labour apparatchiks, all of them dipping in, stealing and rubbing it up their own noses, or up frequently each other's noses. It wouldn't surprise me. John Woodliff, 43, a friend of the MP, also from Sheffield, denies a single fraud offence that he claimed to be a constituency supporter worker. Bourne-Arton, the prosecutor, told the jury it was a very straightforward case of fraud involving invoices for services that were a fiction and making dishonest claims for work that hadn't been done. I would suggest that could be applied to every single payslip that MPs receive, especially those who are socialist, because we all know that they don't do fuck all. Anyway, co-defendants Arnold and Woodcliffe were old friends, persuaded to go along with the dishonest claims. And O'Mara, who was elected as an MP in 2017 and remained in office until he stepped down ahead of the December 19 general election, was said to be fully aware of the claims that were being made, and he knew they were false. The fraudulent claims were made in 2019 and exposed when Arnold went to the police to report what was happening. And he also told police that he spoke to a mental health crisis team the day before to report the MP, who was suffering severe psychotic episodes and had delusions of a conspiracy against him. He also has delusions of adequacy. O'Mara is accused of submitting expense claims totalling 370, relating to an organisation named as Confident About Autism, South Yorkshire. But it didn't exist. Now this guy, he has had a bit of history of being a bit of a wanker. He's been done for a bit of nastiness in terms of physicality. When he was an MP, he was frequently taking a lot of time off, claiming sort of mental illness and all kinds of stresses and things. He was accused of, how can we put this, offences of a sexual nature. I can't go into saying exactly what it was, but it was, these accusations of a bit of touchy-feely, I think. But when he was an MP in Parliament, he never got up to speak once, never asked a question, missed multiple votes, basically was the most useless MP, although you'd wonder how, because in that picture the man sitting behind him was also equally useless. And it's sad for the people of Sheffield, although you must argue that they've done this to themselves. They vote in the wanker behind him, this one. They vote in that necklace wanker. Then he resigns because he wants to go and spend more time with his money, and goes work for Amazon so that he can take lots and lots of money from Bezos. And so to replace him, the people of Sheffield vote for him. And you have to wonder why. But that's socialism for you. See, Sheffield has always been left wing. So they vote either for Marxists in the Lib Dems or the Marxists of the Labour Party. And then they wonder why they're permanently impoverished. But hey, what do you do? Anyway, I'm going to come up, leave that tosspot to himself, and we'll round off. So yes, there we go. Yet another example, shining example of the virtuous, wonderful things that come out of the Labour Party. And remember, I've recently reported that the Labour Party, this massively anti-Semitic party in Parliament, this anti-woman party in Parliament, and now it just seems to be a Charlie-riddled, fleshpot, corrupt sinkhole of every single thing that is wrong with the world. It's where the lowest of the low, it's where the sick-minded go. It's filled with peas, it's filled with the corrupt, it's filled with criminals, and it's filled with people who just don't care. And they certainly don't care about women or children. And they keep pushing these strange, mad agendas that are a complete opposite of what they have previously said. And so they are unelectable. The trouble is, there's a very great danger they may just get elected, even with that charmless toad in charge of them, Sir Keir Starmer. It makes you wonder who actually votes for these people. When you look at the calibre of the people in the party, and don't just get me wrong, I'm picking on them because this video, Labour, they're all the same. The Lib Dems are just as bad. The Tory MPs are just as bad. All MPs, all politicians, they're all awful people. And then they get caught, and then they come up with, oh, but I'm autistic, or I've got special this, and I've got an excuse for that. No, you're lying, two-faced criminals. Anyway, I'm not going to even get angry with them because you don't expect any less. There we go. I'm going to finish now. Sad, isn't it? If you like what you hear and see on the channel, do please hit that subscribe button. That one there. Hit it now. Go on. And ring that bell for notification of future outputs. Leave a like, leave a comment. Please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well. Don't vote for any of these buggers. And goodbye.